Hi, Mochismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, and share the video if you think it's helpful to you and someone else. I got good news for you, empaths and chosen ones. As I believe it, I will share it with you. I believe that God is going to reward you for all the things that you are doing by way of obedience to the calling, first of all. I also believe that God is going to fulfill all your desires, as many as they may be, and they may not even be a lot. Because if you're walking in the flow of God and you're doing the things that God has, ordained you to do, I believe He's going to reward you, and that He says in His Word, He said He'll give you the desires of your heart. One second. He'll give you the desires of your heart. So, if you, like myself, who is not really out there looking for a mate, but I desire a mate in my life to spend my life with, to share in my life, to both complement one another in our life, because we're put here on this planet to be a part of one another's life in big ways, in beautiful ways, not to destroy each other and hurt each other. So, that being the case, God is going to He's going to reward you in that respect. But you have to be available and you have to be accessible. Now, it's like trying to catch the city bus or the transit bus. You're not going to catch a transit bus sitting in the house peeking out the window, because when that transit bus pull up at that bus stop, they may pull off before you get outside. So you have to kind of be outside in so many ways, not so much in the physical all the time, but you have to be accessible for these things to happen to you and your life. And just do the work of getting you to the point of where you're centered, you're the best you that you can be, you're healing, pretty much getting past those offenses and the people who offended you. The forgiveness in your heart has to be very strong, in spite of how detrimental it was to your life. The forgiveness in your heart has to be to the point where it carries no offense for the offender. Although that is when it happened, and a lot of times now you're still struggling in that respect. But just work on channeling your forgiveness, and it has to be something that your heart is convinced of. That's said and done. It's just over and done with, because you can't bring back that situation. You can't rewrite that situation. This is not giving anyone a pass, by the way. You're just you're trying to let go of all that dead weight that's got you anchored in grief and despair. So God will send you that person. He will send you that mate. And wouldn't it be nice? And I know exactly. It's like you're ordering from a restaurant of sort. I mean, I'm specifying. I'm asking God to send me an empath, chosen one, that is both secure and trusting, without even trying, just being in their flow. Because wouldn't it be nice to meet someone much like yourself with their own identity, but being an empath or a chosen one, to where when you go out and about, you don't have to, you don't have any thoughts of the smear. You don't have any thoughts of this ex female or this ex boyfriend pushing up on them, trying to convince them that you're no good, good for nothing. Not that that has happened to me up front and center, but it happens behind our back. I'm sure. But the empath and chosen ones who are going to be linked together, and I pray this for you as well, that you're linked with someone with a like mind, that wouldn't even be a question. You guys are moving so much in your flow. Even the dark energies that see you, they know it's a waste of time, because we're not out here trying to convince anyone that we're either presently pursuing or are considering pursuing. We're not here to try to convince anybody what we are and what we're not. We're doing what we do best, that is just flowing in our authenticity. And if anyone finds that uh, in some way or another appealing enough to endeavor some type of friendship, relationship, or whatnot, that being that. But we're not going over and beyond to try to appease anyone, because we found out long ago, or not long ago, when we awakened, that the things that we did to try to convince people of who we were was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. As long as you are aware, you have self-awareness of who you are, that's a start to understanding that some people you're never going to be able to convince of who you are. They need to be convinced or persuaded of who you are. They need to be convinced by your whole existence that you are who you are. They have to be convinced. You don't have to do the convincing. Got thinking about this, guys, because a lot of times when we're out of a situation like we are with the narcissist, we go through periods of, man, all that time I wasted. You didn't waste any time. That time was well spent, because that time brought you to where you are now. Maybe we may look at it like, man, if I had known what I know now, I would have been able to save X amount of years, months, days with them. Well, again, in hindsight, if we could change and rewrite history, it wouldn't bring us to a point of the character building that these same things brought about. They're building blocks for character in a big way that the world at large cannot teach you in a school. They cannot teach you in a college or any business school. We're in the business of doing what God wants us to do, because He put it in our heart and in our spirit and our soul to do that. We didn't really understand it before, when we're in that paganistic religion, the church, and we didn't know. We were being stagnated, but at the same time, we knew that God was within us. He was amongst us. He was walking ahead of us. He was around us. He was doing things in our life, and we understood and we recognized that. And now looking back at it, we know, had it not been for God, we wouldn't be standing or sitting here in the way that we are. We're broken, but we're not destroyed. And thank God for being broken. God says a broken and contrite heart He will in no ways despise. He won't cast that out. Your heart has to be broken, because when the world breaks your heart, God heals your heart. He's in the healing business. He's into open hearts surgery. And so we look at these things, and a lot of times the thought processes will cause us to revert to just a whole negative outlook of our life in a big way. But we can go there, but we can't stay there. You use those past offenses to give you perspective, to help intensify your gratitude and your thankfulness in God. So I believe God is going to do that thing that you are desiring Him to do. So just kind of keep your focus in the meantime on what He wants you to do. And if you take care of His business, He'll take care of yours. That being said, bless.